Here we are, the third game. The one that kinda started my video game addiction to this day. I wanted to be like, oh, this game's gonna be a reveal, and I'm gonna reveal it, but then I realized there's a video title box. But you read the title. It's Disney's Magical Mirror starring Mickey Mouse. That's not a joke, and I am never going to say that full name again. That is a mouthful. You know, it could have just been Magical Mirror Mickey Mouse, which is still a mouthful. Also, don't be deceived by this name. When I first found this game, again, it said starring, so I thought there might be more of these with new settings and all that jazz. I was met with disappointment. But what did I expect? Donald Duck exploring a medieval castle, vanquishing ghosts? And now I'm sad, that would have been great. But anyway, if you've ever heard of this game, color me impressed. No, it's not that weird epic Mickey game that feels like a fever dream. Seriously, what were they thinking making this? It's like the creator had a dream where there was a magic paintbrush, and he woke up and he was just like, I have the best idea for a video game. So if there's any hardcore Mickey Mouse fans out there, you can probably guess that this is already based on Through the Mirror, old Mickey Mouse cartoon. I found that out from Wiki. But anyway, so the gist of it is that Mickey is asleep, and as Mirror starts going and Mickey's a literal spirit comes out and just goes up to the mirror, which now houses the face I used to see in my nightmares when I was younger. I'm actually kinda surprised this game is rated G due to a couple parts in the game. But before I continue with this story, just a little thing real quick. We used to call this guy Dummy, since we were so scared of him. And to make us less scared, we gave him a name that we thought was rude and funny. Just so you know, I will be referring to him with that name, because I'm so used to saying it. But anyway, Spirit Mickey done does a dumb and follows the ghost into a portal that nearly kills the guy. He falls from like 100 feet and yet he survived. Mickey is a tank. Chase scene with fake Mickey commence. And then he goes up and grabs his shoe, which makes that Mickey spontaneously combust. But he dropped a star, so it's all good. Stars are used for tricks in this game. Trick will require a certain amount of stars to pull off. It'll either give you something good, or just a fun little cutscene. But anyway, you go up to this red door, and your first trick happens. Then this is the main room of the game. Kinda not really. The mirror. You walk in the mirror and go back. Game end. Just kidding. Obviously, the mirror breaks into conveniently large pieces. But then they somehow become small and shoot into oblivion. Game commence. The aim of the game is to get all the pieces and be able to return. You can return without all of them, but do you really want to do that? So, time to go over some notable parts in this game. I mentioned earlier that this game was kind of violent for a kid's game. Here's the main two examples. Number 1, the Chandelier Trick. This is probably the most known trick in the game, so basically, Dummy goes up to the chandelier and you go and walk under it. Like an idiot not seeing the scissors that he's holding. The trick is, obviously, he literally chops down the chandelier and tries to kill him. That is not nearly as violent as this other scene. The sword scene. Dummy possesses a sword and starts swinging it at Mickey, nearly stabbing him in the process. But then there's this part. He goes to stab Mickey, the screen fades to black, then opens with a scene that looks like Mickey got stabbed with the sword. So yeah, that's kinda weird for a kid's game. But another thing about this game is that it's really good at being unintentionally creepy. The first one is this weird idol dance he does, where his eyes start bulging out of his sockets with a creepy smile plastered on his face. But the second part, oh my gosh, my guy needs to brush his teeth. From the lighting and not overly great graphics on the GameCube, it looks like his teeth have blood on them. Well then, this is indeed a kid's game. But anyway, there's also some collectibles scattered throughout the game. And once you beat the game, you'll find out they were actually Mickey's things that used to be in his room. So if you want to 100% the game, you'll have to get all 12 star holders, get all the broken window pieces, and get all the items that go in Mickey's room. But there's also mini games scattered throughout. My personal favorite is the one where you shoot the ghost out of the air in the mini plane. but there's also several others, from running from swords to barrel bashing to dancing on a cake. Actually, for the barrel bashing one, it's actually found a completely new area that I never knew about until like a year ago when I finally dusted off the game again. If you do a certain trick combination from the clockwork tower to the roof, which I always thought the clockwork tower was like the ending area of the game, then you'll be able to cross a tightrope to a completely new area. It's basically like a castle dungeon looking place at the beginning, but some areas actually look like ruined places in the game, which I just adore. It gives this great sense of your journey coming to an end. Speaking of which, the ending in this game, spoiler warning, is exactly what you'd expect. Mickey wakes up at home in his bed, which makes you think, was it all just a dream? But the 100% makes this ending great. Mickey says, "Oh, that was a weird dream." Then the ghost appears from the roof doing his iconic laugh to anyone who's played the game. But overall, these were the 3 games I played a lot during my earlier years, back when I was a young lad. And of course there are others, namely Luigi's Mansion and Kirby's Epic Yarn. But I'll save those for another day. That's all for this video. Goodbye.